Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of She's All That podcast, where I'm going to speak about how fasting is helping me this month. This is Hanniz. I'm one half of Best Events Productions, and we're part of this She's All That channel on BTV. It's the second day of Ramadan, which is the second day of the fasting month in the Muslim calendar. In Malaysia, we started yesterday, which is the 13th of April. And what happens is that we fast from dawn, which usually starts from about 6 a.m. and we break fast at about 7:20 p.m. So yes, it's almost 6 o'clock now, and we are gonna break fast soon. But just to share with you how fasting during this month will actually help with our business. So how when people fast, usually we assume that energy levels drop because we don't consume food and we don't drink, and that is true. I've been feeling a bit low in energy despite having a good enough meal before we start fasting and a good enough meal when we break fast. So it's just about now having to prioritize how to use this energy that we have. So when it comes to work, what Sarah and I have decided would be that we would be stepping back from being active and aggressive in terms of making sales for Antas Solutions. We're going to be rethinking about how to do our business better. We're going to spend time strategizing for the long term and basically not pressure ourselves too much this month and try to focus more on the spiritual side of things. Even if, as a non Muslim, you can fast, and I think most of you would have heard about intermittent fasting. It's come up a lot the past few years, and there are plenty of reasons why you might want to fast. Imagine yourself giving your body, your digestive system, a kind of a break, kind of a detox time. So it's not about weight loss so much, but more about for other health benefits, especially when you break fast with good food, healthy food, and not processed foods. So Plato once said, I fast for great physical and mental efficiency. And fasting is not a modern day fad, it's something that has been done throughout history for religious and non religious reasons. So for us Muslims, we fast because it's one of the five pillars of Islam, and basically it's an act of worship that taps into the physical and spiritual benefits of fasting. So when it comes to running on limited energy, we usually tend to I basically need to look at things clearer in terms of where I want to spend my energy. So like I mentioned before, we're looking at the broader picture of things and prioritizing things. So not everything needs to be done right away. There are things that can wait, and you might think that we don't need as much sleep, but actually, I do need more sleep. I feel that in the afternoons, my energy levels dip, and usually, for now, this 2 days, I've been trying to take a short nap just before the usual lunch hour. So for this month, what I'm going to do is basically um, be more reflective, spend time on long term and strategic thinking, um, spend less time on day to day tasks. Uh, I cannot escape submitting stuff that the auditor needs, so that needs to be done, and I will have to do that today so that she doesn't have to wait too long because we need to prepare our taxes and stuff. And also, it actually helps. It actually affects me as a person. It helps me reset. Um, Usually, because as a business owner, we always seem to have our brains running at full steam. So it's very hard to just take a break sometimes. So this month actually will help me just put myself on pause and put myself put a break on routines and trying to be less stressed out. Even though, yes, we were having a discussion yesterday, Sarah, I, and our intern Kwai, who has decided to continue with us for a month, maybe, while while her break is still on, and before we continues with her studies. So yeah, we decided to, yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna step back. We're not gonna work too long hours like we usually do, despite not having the number of sales that we really want and I think we really need. Is already the first quarter of the year, but we said that we're not going to rush into things and do things hastily. Rather, we'll look at the things more long term, and then looking at the gaps that we can fill and go into full steam right after we celebrate Eid in May. Eid, or Hari Raya for the Malaysians that we call it. So we're focusing on building better habits, breaking old bad ones. I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to be more um, if I can, I would like to try to spend more time with family. And then I am usually the type of person to be hangry. I don't eat. I get angry. So now it's just about being self-disciplined and putting things into perspective. Time to be grateful for stuff that I have, and be more empathetic towards those that are less fortunate. So it's not just about hunger, controlling hunger. It's more about exercising empathy, putting yourself in other people's shoes. If you're complaining about your job, I guess it's time to reflect that you do have a job. If you're driving a small car or just riding a motorbike, I guess it's time to reflect that yes, you do have a car to get you around. You have money to pay for petrol, to bring you places, to transport your kids here and there, and to bring your kids to school. Um, I guess to also be fortunate to be grateful that you can send your kids to school. There are some kids who want to go to school but don't have the chance to do that. This is a time to also reconnect with to God. Um, I'm going to spend time reading the Quran and basically focusing on the good energy. So yeah, so that's part of what I'm going to do. And for those who are not actually Muslims but who want to find out what the benefits are for fasting, there have been studies for the benefits of fasting, and I'm just going to share some with you, so that maybe you might want to consider fasting, even not observing the Ramadan or the fasting month like us Muslims, but just more for health reasons. So fasting actually helps to promote blood sugar control by reducing insulin resistance. So uh, in one study in 10 people with type 2 diabetes shows that short-term intermittent fasting actually significantly decreases blood sugar levels. So this can actually help you, especially when you are maybe when you have diabetes. But of course, you need to check with your doctor with whether this is safe for you. It also helps to fight inflammation. It decreases several markers of inflammation and may be useful in treating inflammatory conditions such as multiple sclerosis, which is short form for MS, long form for MS. So, while acute inflammation is a normal immune process used to fight off infections, chronic inflammation can have serious consequences for your health. So, with intermittent fasting, it helps decrease levels of inflammation and promote better health. Number three would be it enhances heart health by improving blood pressure uh, and cholesterol levels. So, heart disease is considered the leading cause of death around the world, accounting for an estimated 31.5% of deaths globally. So, one small study revealed that 8 weeks of alternate day fasting reduces level of bad cholesterol, and another study in 110 obese adults showed that fasting for 3 weeks under medical supervision significantly decreased blood pressure as well as levels of blood triglycerides, total cholesterol and bad cholesterol. So, also one study in 4,629 people associated fasting with a lower risk of coronary artery disease, as well as a significantly lower risk of diabetes, which is a major risk factor for heart disease. Number four, another benefit would be that it actually boosts brain function and prevents neurodegenerative disorders. So, because fasting may help in relief inflammation, it should also help in preventing neurodegenerative disorders. Studies in animals suggest that fasting may protect against and improve outcomes for conditions such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Of course, more studies need to be done to evaluate the effects of fasting on brain function in humans. And number five, it does help with weight loss by limiting calorie intake, and it boosts metabolism. So, dieters usually they look. This is an fasting is an easy way to drop a few kgs or pounds because abstaining from all or certain foods and beverages should decrease your overall calorie intake, which could lead to increased weight loss over time. Also, short-term fasting may boost metabolism by increasing levels of neurotransmitter norepinephrine, which could enhance weight loss. Okay, and number six, it increases growth hormone secretion, which is vital for growth, metabolism, weight loss, and muscle strength. So, a study actually in 9 men found that fasting in just 2 days led to five-fold increase in the high HGH production rate. So, what is HGH? It's the human growth hormone, a type of protein hormone that is central to many aspects of your health. Number seven, it also helps to delay aging and extend longevity. So, in one study, rats that fasted every other day experienced a delayed rate of aging and lived 83% longer than rats that didn't fast. But right now, studies are limited to animals, so we need more time to study how it affects humans. Number eight, it may aid in cancer prevention and increase the effectiveness of chemo. So, a test tube study showed that exposing cancer cells to several cycles of fasting was as effective as chemotherapy in delaying tumor growth and increased the effectiveness of drugs on cancer formation. So, this is also done on the test on the research was basically limited to the effects of fasting on cancer formation in animals and cells. So more research needs to be done for humans. Yeah, so if you want to consider how to start fasting, there are a few steps so that you don't go straight head dive into it. You could start off with water fasting, involving drinking only water for a set amount of time. You could do juice fasting, so entailing only drinking veggie or fruit juice for a certain period of time. There's also intermittent fasting, where intake is partially or completely restricted for a few hours, up to a few days at a time, and then the normal diet is resumed. Partial fasting, where certain foods or drinks, such as processed foods, animal products, or caffeine, are eliminated from the diet for a set period. And then there's, of course, the calorie restrictions, where you restrict calories for a few days every week. And yeah, so of course, if you are going through certain illnesses, or if you suffer from diabetes or low blood sugar, you should best talk to your doctor first before you start any form of fasting. And if you decide to fast, be sure to stay well hydrated. So usually for us Muslims, we drink a lot during breaking of fast and before we start fasting. And it depends on your body, of course. So yeah, so that's basically me sharing for She's All That this week, and I hope you've learned something. And for those Muslims who are observing Ramadan, I wish you a blessed month. Hoping that it is going to be a easy enough journey for you to reconnect with yourself and to God. And for the rest of you who would like to try a fasting, um, where I would like to wish you the best of luck, and hopefully the results do encourage you to perhaps fast in the future, continue fasting in the future. All right, so that's it for me this week. And this is Hanniz signing out.